Hello viewers, Will Underwood here from the Huddle. Welcome back. Today we're joined by Mags Dunn from Clarion Events. She's the official portfolio director at Clarion. And Mags, thank you very much for joining us today. We're going to be talking all things ICE Barcelona 2026. And my first point I want to draw on is looking back on ICE Barcelona 2025. Were there any key positives and also areas for improvement for you? And building on that, did the success of last year's conference sort of add any pressure going into this year's?
Well, thank you, Will. Very nice to be here, and thank you for inviting me. So great question to kick us off. It's a tricky one for me, if I'm honest, because I actually wasn't I wasn't part of the team for ICE Barcelona 2025. I only joined just afterwards. But I have heard amazing things. And to move a show of that size and scale from a city such as London to Barcelona was just incredible. And the feedback that we heard from everyone was just phenomenal. I mean, in the events industry, we talk a lot about NPS scores, and the team received an NPS score of plus 67, which puts it in the top 5% of business events, across the world, which is just incredible. So, yeah, really good feedback. I think one of the biggest successes was probably the new layout that we have in Barcelona. So the show is very carefully zoned, and we've gone one step further for 2026 as well. So now we've added a new hall in Hall 1 and moved IGB affiliate to Hall 8 and Hall 8.1. We'll now have Hall 1 and 2 dedicated to iGaming, Hall 3 dedicated to the land-based sector, and Hall 4 and 5 is for sports betting and payments and other sectors. So it's very carefully laid out. So I think that was one of the big successes. In terms of feedback, obviously the team have been living and breathing all the feedback over the last 9 months. Nothing major, to be honest, but lots of little tweaks here and there to improve the visitor experience. One of the things we hear a lot is how difficult it is to find somewhere to sit down at ICE. I mean, it's such a busy event with 65,000 people. So we've added a quiet zone this year, which is an area where people can, take a seat, charge their phone, host those meetings. I mean, we estimate that over the course of World Gaming Week, there's about 1 million meetings that takes place. So we do need that extra capacity. So I think that will be a really good addition to the show. What else? We've changed the location of the sustainable gambling zone. So that is a really critical area of the show for ICE. It always has been. So this year we have made the location slightly further forward in the spine. So it now sits in the thoroughfare between halls 4 and 5. So it should get additional traffic and visibility. And we've made the area much more open plan as well. We've also increased the size of the pitch stage. So that's our stage where we have all the innovation and new products, again, really critical to the future of the industry and to ICE. So it was important to us to increase that as well. So lots of little changes. I mean, there's loads of other things that I could tell you about. We've changed the opening hours back to the 2024 opening hours. We've got new sports betting content, loads of little things that you will notice will all add up to a better experience. Is there more pressure? It's a good question. I would say, ICE is the most influential and a highly regarded event in the industry. There's always a lot of pressure. We are always expected to make the event better than the last. And I would say that, I've had a sneak peek at some of the visuals of the event and, I don't think people are going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be a good addition.
That's great. So I know that the overall theme of the event this year is growing the power of play. Can you give us a little insight into what that sentence means for you and where the idea kind of came from?
Yes, so that's our creative, growing the power of play. So
Hmm.
it kind of encapsulates everything that ICE is about. So ICE sits at the epicenter of the global gaming ecosystem. So the digital garden, which is at the center of the creative, basically represents ICE. So ICE is the fertile ground where all the different elements of the global gaming ecosystem come to meet, and then they come to launch their technologies, and come to form partnerships and do their business at ICE, and basically what we're saying is that ICE is not the place that watches this change and this growth happens. ICE is the place that nurtures and cultivates the growth of the
Hmm.
industry. So ICE is the place where industry growth happens. So
Hmm.
that's kind of what the meaning is behind the Garden of Play. And actually this year we have gone one step further, and we're printing our registration badges on seeded paper. So you can take your
Ah.
badge home with you, plant it in the garden, it will grow into a plant, and then you can extend
Oh,
your
amazing.
experience at ICE even beyond World Gaming Week. So yeah, it's a nice little
Oh,
touch.
that's a lovely touch, yeah. And I mean, you've just given me one there, but leading on to my next question, is there anything else that we can expect to see from ICE Barcelona 2026 that we've maybe not seen from ICE before?
Yes, lots and
Hmm.
lots of new things happening. So I should start with the enterprise stage. So last year our show floor content was called the center stage. We've rebranded it to the enterprise stage
Hmm.
this year, and this is going to be the area where all the key conversations about the future of technology and gaming happen. So we've got really key speakers on this stage. For example, Microsoft. We've got Huawei, AWS, who'll be talking about the future of technology and AI within the gambling industry. This will be the stage where the Innovator Challenge happens in partnership with
Hmm.
Microsoft. So that's another industry first. So a tech giant like Microsoft really working in close partnership with an event like ICE really speaks volumes for the sort of growth and development of the industry. So that's really exciting. We have the ICE Startups Accelerator. So that is a series of roundtables and workshops that helps startup companies take their idea from initial concept through to market delivery. So it's kind of the next stage in the startup journey, and sits really nicely on alongside the pitch stage. On the experience side, we've got some cool new partnerships. We have a partnership with McLaren.
Hmm.
So you'll find our new McLaren Lifestyle Lounge on the show floor, where you can try out one of our driving simulators, or you can perhaps get an opportunity for a supercar test ride, which is quite cool.
Hmm.
We have our Barcelona Beer Festival in Hall 1. So if you want to try our ICE branded beer, you'll find that in Hall 1. So yeah, loads going on throughout the show.
Great. And with regard to the content of what we can expect to see in the panels and presentation, would you say there's an overriding theme within that content for this year, or anything perhaps that's going to be covered more than it was last year? Yeah, what can we expect to see in those conversations?
Yeah, so on the content side, I would say the key area that we are focusing on this year is really the development of the regulated market.
Hmm.
So we know that the challenge of tackling the illegal market is a mammoth task, and it's something that we are really trying to support the industry with this year.
Hmm.
So what we've done is we've set up a regulatory advisory board, and that is a series of compliance and regulatory experts who have been offering us guidance and advice on how we should be positioning the event to help the industry support this challenge. So
Hmm.
they've been suggesting topics which we should be covering in the World Regulatory Briefing, areas which we should be including for debates and roundtables. So you'll see a lot of those content on the programme. We've also introduced a whole new regulatory program. So that includes things like discounts for regulators. So they get a 25% discount off the World Regulatory Briefing, new Chatham House rules. So in the World Regulatory Briefing, following the keynote, it will be Chatham House rules. So regulators can speak openly and share experiences and best practices without worrying about repercussions from the press. So yeah, some really high level speakers. So we've got Sue Kim, for example, the chairman of Bally's, speaking. We have Ian Hunter from Snapchat speaking. Matthias Feder, the CEO of Leo Vegas Group. So some really key names as well on the content
Hmm.
program.
Now, digging into your role a little bit more specifically, when putting on an event as of this magnitude, what kind of role does observing other industry events, particularly in the European continent, play in your development of trying to perfect ICE 2026? Has there been anything you've learned from attending alternative conferences this year?
Well, I mean, as I said, I'm fairly new to the sector, so I have actually
Hmm.
attended the majority of competitive events this year just to get a lay of the land, really, and just see what other events are doing. I wouldn't necessarily say learnings as such. I think attending other events does help us cement our own strategy.
Hmm.
So we, as part of our strategy, we talk a lot about how ICE is the place the world of gaming goes to do business. Everything that we do is centered around helping facilitate that business. So as I mentioned earlier about the quiet zone, we know people need space for meetings. So that's why we've focused on the meetings, the quiet zone. In terms of networking, we know, everyone loves a party, but all the networking that we offer, again, is all around offering, business opportunities. So the World Gaming Gala, for example, which we have on our day zero on the Sunday, is an exclusive invite-only event for operators and regulators. And it brings those high-level C-suite professionals together to have that networking experience and help, build partnerships and build relationships. So very much business focused. I mean, on the catering side, same. We take on feedback about introducing new catering options, and we've got some really fun stuff this year. Like I mentioned, the Barcelona Beer Festival. But again, our priority is about helping people do what they come to ICE for. So we know in 2025, people didn't have to wait any longer than 9 minutes to collect their food at lunchtime. And that's what's important to us. We're very much a data-driven business, so we analyze all these different metrics, and we know that food catering is obviously important, but the more important thing is getting back to their meetings and getting back to the business, which is where the business gets done. So I guess that's the most important thing for us, really, just cementing our own strategy of ensuring ICE remains that business critical event.
Perfect. And final question for you today. Overall, is there a particular area or thing that you could point to that's exciting you most ahead of this year's coming ICE Barcelona conference?
I would say probably it's just seeing it all to come to life, really. I mean,
Hmm.
as I said, I've seen some of the visuals for the creative on site, and it looks really cool. So I'm
Hmm.
excited to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Hall 1 and seeing how that sort of, improves the show, the increased size of the show, and also some of the networking activities. So I'm a big runner myself, so I'm looking forward to participating in our Run the Ramblers on the Tuesday morning, if you'd like to join me. And also some of the other stuff. We've got networking dinners for the first time, which I think will be a good opportunity for me to get to know some more of the industry. And also, the welcome drinks at the timeout market look really good as well. So yeah, I would say, everything really.
Great. I'm not much of a runner myself, and I imagine the running between meetings will be the primary source of my sort of physical exercise through the conference. But yeah, thank you so much again for joining us today, Mags, and thank you, viewers. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. See you in January.